Hi, how are
Shalom,
you?
shalom.
It's good to see
Excited to be here.
I'm thrilled to have you, Aviv. I can't tell you, like really pleased to have you. So, let me just begin with it's okay if we work in a format of questions. It helps for me, okay?
Yes, great.
Okay, so the
But I'm
first thing,
Israeli. Sorry for I have Israeli English.
well, then I will
Thank you.
speak a little more slowly and a little more clearly, and everybody's going to have to listen a little more loudly, right?
Great.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so let's begin with the obvious first question because for many years I didn't have a clue. What exactly is Yom Yerushalayim, Jerusalem Day?
Wow. Yom Yerushalayim. It's an amazing event here in Israel. We celebrate with flags, parades in Jerusalem. We're just so happy. And why? Um, the truth is we have three levels, I think, of what is Yom Yerushalayim. Basically, it's just a Jewish thing that, we won the battle, so let's eat.
Yeah.
That's Hanukkah, that's Purim, that's a lot of our holidays as we won the battle, we survived, let's eat, and it's an opportunity to be happy. But it's even higher than that, not only just Hanukkah. Hanukkah is Yom Yerushalayim, same thing. We got Jerusalem after being occupied by other nations, and then we got back Jerusalem. That's in Hanukkah 2,200 years ago, and that's us today. In a higher level, Jerusalem is something even different. It's like the purpose of Am Yisrael. It's, we're celebrating something even more unique. We're celebrating getting back our heart. Am Yisrael, the people of Israel, without Jerusalem is like a body without a heart. Where can you feel? Where can you connect? Where can you? It's just feeling the connection of who you are and what you represent. And for hundreds of years, we didn't have Jerusalem. So coming back to Jerusalem is like this amazing opportunity again to be happy. And I think there's also another level, which I don't know too much, but people always talk about it. It's a spiritual level, something even higher. It's something eternal that we can't even explain. Like Jerusalem is the foundation stone of the world. Jerusalem is the gate to heaven. Jerusalem is so I don't know too much about that, but in Sfirat HaOmer, we count from Pesach to Shavuot, 50 days, and it's Jerusalem Day is just the 7th week. It's like Malchut, it's like kingdom. We're celebrating kingdom.
So you're saying that Jerusalem is like the crown of Israel? I mean, why Yom Yerushalayim? Why not say Yom Tel Aviv? Like, can you tell me what makes it so central? Why it's understood as the heart?
Wow, this is great. Yom Tel Aviv is like a Yom New York, which is a nice day. We can have a Yom New York or Yom LA or any other city in the world.
Right.
Tel Aviv is nice, I'm from Jerusalem, so it's the heart and different parts of the body maybe. But Jerusalem is, as we said, but let's deep in. Jerusalem is the heart. There is no other heart. In the body, we have only one heart. And I spoke about a year ago with the higher command of the Southern Command in 1967. His name is Shaike Gavish. 1967, the war was really in Egypt. They were the ones who united Syria and Jordan.
Wait. You're talking about the 6-Day War?
6-Day War, 1967. Okay. Yeah, that's when it occurred 53 years ago. And the truth is, we didn't expect a war in Jerusalem. We thought the war was going to be in the south. We just kept a small brigade here in Jerusalem just to make sure nobody comes in. And most of the army, the military, the IDF was expecting defending the south because Egypt had a larger army than all of IDF, all the IDF. They had more tanks, they had more airplanes, they had more everything. So the war was there, but the Jordanians started the war and we had to protect, and we protected probably very good, and we were stronger here in the spirit. We were stronger, and they went away. They just surrendered and went away. And at the bottom line, after 53 years, nobody celebrates Yom Sinai Desert. We got the Sinai Desert same day of Yom Jerusalem. We got Bethlehem and Hebron, other holy cities, which are also connecting to our forefathers. But Jerusalem is not only the past. It's not just territory or a nice city, it is an amazing city. Jerusalem is, as we said, it's a connection between us. You know, all the Jews around the world face Jerusalem when they're davening, when they're praying. They're facing Jerusalem. So the Yemenites north and the people from Europe south and people from other places in the United States, depends where you are, but you're facing Jerusalem. It's the core that unites us together. And Jerusalem also unites us to our past. Abraham, Isaac were there. David and King Solomon were there. The Maccabees were there. The uniting of people coming pilgriming every holiday. Jews would come to dance together at the temple. You know, how can we be a nation if we're not celebrating together? You know, it's nice to say we're united, we're together, but we don't meet. We need to meet so we can be together. So Jerusalem is the place we met. Every year we met in Jerusalem, danced and sang together.
Wow.
And when we lost Jerusalem during the destruction of the Second Temple, when the Romans came in year 70, the Common Era, when they came in, Jerusalem was now the connection. When we were in the exile, Jerusalem, we're spread all across the world. This is our connection. And it's also, you know, I have a story.
Tell me.
My last name is Wishkovsky, you know, Poland, this Poland. And I have a weird hobby. I like to interview people who are over 85 years old. You know, they have a different connection there than today's YZ generation.
Right.
And one of the people who was in the Holocaust, he's a Holocaust survivor. And he said, I gave you it's a longer story. You have to come for a whole tour or for a whole story, a lecture for this. But he once said, you know, Auschwitz camp, 1944, and Nazis beating it up and asking him, Juden, Jew, where do you have your hope from? And what is a hope of a Jew in Auschwitz camp, freezing cold, lost all his family? What's your hope? And he said, next year in Jerusalem.
Ooh.
Next year, Jerusalem. That's our hope. The present isn't the best, but we're going to go to a better future. All the idea of a Jew thinking of tikkun olam, wanting to have a better world, comes from Jerusalem. It's an eternal city. Abraham, King David, all of that together, and connecting to Jerusalem is connecting to the higher values that Judaism represents. It's connecting to the higher values of hoping for a better future, knowing that now is not a good time and now is not a good time. But if you open eyes in a larger perspective, you see it's an amazing time. Some things are not the best, but can be even better.
So in some ways, so somebody just wrote in and said, so that's what I'm praying for during quarantine next year in Jerusalem. Let me ask you something. Do you find a fundamental difference in feeling around the land of Israel on that particular day, on Yom Yerushalayim, you know, regardless of how much biblical knowledge a person has? There seems to be this draw to Jerusalem. I've taken thousands and thousands of women to Israel. You know, they get to Jerusalem, they start to cry. What do you think it is that why do our emotions become so close to the surface, do you think, when we arrive in Jerusalem?
The truth is, I don't have an answer. You know, it's something beyond explaining. I have a lot of books, you can read things, but they just try to tell us what we feel. They try to diagnose, but some things, you know, when I hug my kid, it's not writing in a book, I'm hugging a kid. Just feeling you're a part, this is me, I love him. This is beyond explaining. This is just something higher. But look, also in Israel, I'm not sure everybody celebrates Yom Yerushalayim. And I'm not sure everybody celebrates, you know, you don't wake up every morning and saying, I'm a Jew. What does that mean in my world? But although if you read the books, that's what we are expected maybe to do. You know, the more you taste, someone very smart told me, you know, Pamela, she said, the more you taste, the more hungry, the more you want to eat. And the more you learn about who you are, the more you want to be yourself. The more you learn about your country, about your history, the more you want to you want to represent it. And I think the more you learn about Jerusalem, you want even more, meaning the basic level is just loving it. And the more you come, the more you learn about yourself, you love yourself. People, you can love your kid, you can love a person, you have a crush, and I don't know, I love this person, I hear the teenager, a crush, and that's not love. That's a small thing. You have a connection.
Right.
But the more you know a person, the more you can love it. And the more you know Jerusalem, which it represents, you're just, wow.
So I understand that you are responsible for the education and the inspiration, the kind of call to arms that happens when the soldiers go out after they become officially soldiers. And that part of your work is to blow on that coal, to light that fire, if you will, within them. How do you do that? What precisely do you say to them? And how do you inspire them from all different parts of Israel, some of whom perhaps have not known Jerusalem? And if you can only love something as far as you know it, how do you get them to fall in love? What is the dream? What is the special sauce that you say to inspire them to want to know more?
That's very complicated.
Take your time.
It depends what kind of soldier it is.
Right.
But first of all, talking about Jerusalem is the answer. Meaning, the more we talk about Jerusalem, that's why we said from the beginning, Jerusalem is not just talking about a nice city.
Right.
Talking about Jerusalem reminds us of the higher cause. In a soldier, he would like to be on the beach. He would like to be in dancing. He would like to be in front of a computer with air conditioning and play Fortnite. We like that. Soldier is just a regular person, that puts on a uniform. And now we are trying to connect him. It's not only me, right? There's a whole corp of education that his meaning is to connect the soldier to the higher cause. Because the thing, our real power is not the tanks. Our real power is not the jets. The real power is the spirit of the person who goes on a tank, who goes on a jet, who goes on the front line, puts himself on the front line, although people are shooting at him. And the more you understand that I'm part of a bigger picture, the more you would understand about I'm willing to even pay for my life or give my life for the higher cause. If we would think only about what you get from it, then probably people, I like it, I don't like it, it's nice, it's not nice, I don't like to sweat. Give me something I like to do. But the more you're talking about the higher cause, you talk about Jerusalem, then you understand what I'm fighting for.
Okay, I understand. I understand, Aviv, but is there a particular piece of wisdom that you would share with them that would, make them feel that? I'm sure that not all of them feel it when the minute, unless it's so entrenched in society in Israel that you're going to serve, and unless love of country is so entrenched that by the time you're ready to serve, you're ready to connect it to something higher. But do you have is there a curriculum? Is there something in particular that you say that's sort of like a call to arms?
First of all, Jerusalem is a brand. It's like saying Jerusalem is a connection. Saying Jerusalem is a connection. I'm sure also when you come to Jerusalem with all these amazing people, these families representing thousands of families from around the world, just saying Jerusalem, I am in Jerusalem, it means a lot. It inspires us of this connection. Then you dig into Jerusalem and you see that this brand, this gold, is divided and has a lot of small parts in it. It has history, it has religion, it has culture, it has different culture. It has Jews and Christians and Muslims. It has all kinds of Jews coming from different communities. And then you ask yourself, wait a second, so what do I really connect to? What am I connecting to? Jerusalem? But what am I? Am I this or am I that? Even I had a tour with a Christian lady coming to Jerusalem. And when you come to Jerusalem, we start a tour, and then I'm asking, wait a second, what kind of Christian are you? And she's I'm a Christian. What do you mean? I said, no, what kind of Christian are you? I said, no, we don't have kinds of Christian. I'm Christian. I said, no, wait a second. Are you Orthodox? Are you Catholic? Are you Protestant? Are you Polish? Because there's many groups of churches in Jerusalem. It's not only one, it's all kinds of groups. And like also in Jerusalem, of course, for us Jews, it's so different between Christianity and Judaism, because Judaism, at the bottom line, we can be in the same minyan. We can be praying together. We have the same customs, the same dates, the same holidays, we call them groups, but the bottom line, you look from the outside, it looks exactly the same. But who am I? I'm religious, I'm not religious, I do this, I do that. The more the soldiers understand the different parts of who we are, and then they understand what unites us together, that's Jerusalem.
Well, so, it's interesting because one of the values at Momentum, of course, is unity without uniformity. So I guess that's what you're creating when you when there's an army made of diverse, different people who may appear and even practice differently. You have to create that unity. So in your humble opinion, Aviv, what is a unifying factor for Jews? Is it Jerusalem? Is Jerusalem the unification? Like, is that why we celebrate that day? Is the reunification of Jerusalem perhaps, I don't know, like a metaphor for the reunification of all different Jews together and the world at large, do you think?
First of all, yes. And it's the unity. You know what? Why is Jerusalem called Jerusalem?
Yeah, I wanted to ask you that. And also, when you get to it, how many times is Jerusalem mentioned in our Bible?
Okay, so first of all, on candlelighting every Shabbat, before Shabbat, it says in the books, it says that Jerusalem is in the Gematria, and the number of nerot, of candles.
Okay,
Nun represents
hold on, stop. You have to explain Gematria because many people don't know what that is. It's numerology.
Numerology, thank you. Every Hebrew letter has a number, 1, 2, 3, 4, that's Aleph to Yud. And then it goes 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 until 100, that's Kuf. Okay. And then you have Kuf, Rei, Shin, Taf, right? 100, 200, 300, 400. If you take and add up all the Gematria, the numerology of Nerot, of candles, you get to the number of Jerusalem in the Bible. But sometimes it's with Yud, sometimes it's without Yud. It's more than 600 times. And then again, Jerusalem
more than 600?
656. But it's even more than that if you take Jerusalem without Yud, and with Yud, it's almost 690 times. Because all our songs from King David and King Solomon is all about Jerusalem. He was there. He was thinking of Jerusalem. And if we're going back to the question of why Jerusalem named Jerusalem, I think it's, again, answered part of what we're talking about. It says in the Tanakh, in the Bible, that Abraham, our forefather, the first forefather, the one who told the world there's one God in the world before all the people were idol worshiping, Abraham comes to Jerusalem. And it has an event there. And after the event, which he really meets God. He meets God and he calls the place. It says in Sefer Bereshit, in book of Genesis, I think it's in English, right? Yeah. I'm better in Hebrew, but he says, he called the place, the mountain, Hashem Yireh, the place of owing God, of awe, of connection to God. Nice. So Jerusalem is in the first time, it's the connection to God, which represents also the higher values in which we represent. So that's one. And of course, the Jews remember this event by blowing the shofar. That's the beginning of shofar. And the second time is when Abraham meets the king of Salem, Shalem. Mm-hmm. Meaning Abraham didn't invent the land of Israel. It was a Canaanite before that. And there was a king called Melchizedek, the king of Shalem. Malki in Hebrew means the king. Of tzedek, of justice. His name is the King of Justice. Even before Judaism came in, meaning 3,800 years ago, Jerusalem was representing justice, the eternal justice. And Melchizedek, the King of Shalem. Shalem in Hebrew is whole, complete, together. Now it's amazing. On the one hand, Jerusalem is representing whole, complete, love, just together. And Avraham brings in the higher values, the place God has chosen, the place of King David would put a temple later on. Jerusalem, on the one hand, is the obligation, the commitment, even sometimes the sacrifice. And on the other hand, it's the love. It's, I like this, I love this, it's nice to me. So this is Jerusalem. And it's part of our life. Sometimes we do things because we just love them, we like them. Sometimes we do things because our commitment. I'm a parent. Sometimes I do the things to my kids, with my kids, because I just love it. I like to, play with them. Sometimes you do things because you need to do it. And that's Jerusalem. On the one hand, we're doing things sometimes because of this, sometimes because of the other thing. And the first part is also part of the essence of Judaism. Meaning all of Jerusalem is the essence. Meaning the commitment is the understanding that a Jew is like a fighter, and he fights the flow. Ooh. We would like to be just like fish on the river, going on the way of the river. What's the English expression?
I know, salmon swimming upstream. I hear exactly what you're saying. This is such a beautiful metaphor. Just flesh it out a bit more for me. I love it.
So great. So we are a salmon against the stream. We were fighting the flow all the time. The world can just destroy itself, but we're fighting that. We want to show the world we can find a different thing. So that's Yerushalayim. Yerushalayim is first a commitment, fighting to bring the world to a better spot, a better place, a commitment. On the other hand, bringing unity. And that's even Shema Yisrael, Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad. Also another sentence which is part of the core of Judaism, which means Echad, one. We're trying to unite the world, unite the religions, unite the higher world with the lower world, the higher values with the ground, with our bodies. We're the people who unite. And even if we are not different than other people, okay, we're probably not too different. Some people would say we are different, some people in spiritual level, but we're educating our kids for 3,800 years that you can't just sit around in the air conditioning and just look at life go past. No, we're educating our kids to do something with your life that is meaningful in order to connect, to make the world a better place.
Aviv, that's a beautiful thought. And I'm sure that, life in Israel inherently teaches that because, sacrifice and service and all of those things are part of your culture. But in North America, how do we inspire our youth? The ones who don't feel a connection to Israel, the ones who've never been to Israel. What do you suggest that we do to create, because, part of Momentum's purpose, of course, is to build a connection to Israel. And if it's not happening in our day-to-day culture, if Fortnite has taken over, great values, what is it? What do you suggest?
First of all, it's a real challenge to continue, being a Jew in the diaspora, when seeing around all the different cultures, and then you think to yourself, so what am I? What am I different? Am I not different? And in Israel, sometimes it's easier being a Jew here in Israel.
Sure.
It's Yom Yerushalayim. We have flags. We know it's Yom Yerushalayim. Everybody knows here in Jerusalem, it's Yom Yerushalayim. Everybody knows Independence Day. Everybody knows it's Pesach. We have matzahs all around. You can't eat bread outside. So we feel our culture is different.
Right.
But I think instead of inventing things, Judaism has had the same questions throughout 1900 years. What do we do so we keep ourselves and connect ourselves? And we have our tradition, we have our customs, we have our understanding of facing Jerusalem. So even though you're somewhere else, you need to think, and it's hard, it's difficult, it's our being fighters. We are fighters, okay? We're not fighting to kill, really. This is a thing everybody needs to understand. No, I don't know one soldier here in Israel who is fighting to kill. We're fighting to defend. We're called the IDF, Israel Defense Force, and we're fighting for peace. We're fighting to bring peace to the world. That's the whole thing. Give me another culture who says who greets one another, shalom, peace. Give me another culture who says, shalom shalom aleinu. Every day, you eat bread, you ask for peace and the blessing. Yeah, we're fighting for peace. And that's part of the thing. So I think to your question, you can't just sit around and expect you're going to find the answer. You have to work hard for it. You need to, like a soldier, you need to find some time and find your connection. It can be to Jerusalem. It can be
it's so beautiful. Somebody just typed in, wow, that brought tears to my eyes, just so you know. If you moved one person, you changed the world. Aviv, just tell me a little bit about how we in the diaspora can help celebrate Yom Yerushalayim. What can we do? Tell me how Yom Yerushalayim is celebrated in Israel. What are you guys doing? What can we do to raise our consciousness and connectivity?
First of all, it's the will to connect. That's the first thing. I want to think Jerusalem. I now take some time and think of Jerusalem. And with the media of today, there's so many ways to connect to Jerusalem. So many movies, videos, etc. Second thing is what we do in Jerusalem, in Israel. We start dancing. You have to be happy. Just have a dinner, but this time put a flag and draw a wall of Jerusalem and think of Jerusalem. On the third level, look, I'm so excited because we have a surprise. We were thinking, what can you do? On a regular year, people come to Jerusalem. Many tens of thousands of people come to Jerusalem. And this year, because of the situation, people from abroad can't come to Jerusalem. And also people from Israel can't come to Jerusalem.
Right.
So we found we took the lemon and made it to a lemonade. With all the quarantine and all the rest.
Wow.
And we just brought, the Zoom and all the videos and all the things around us brought us to understand that you can also connect through your home.
Sure.
And it's a global world. You can also connect from your home. And what we did and what we're going to do, we're going to meet. Can I talk about it?
Please talk about it.
Oh, wait, okay. So look, I'm with Thank Israeli Soldiers and really believe that the soldiers is like the connection, like the soldiers, like Jerusalem, soldiers like Jerusalem. They are uniting our people. They are uniting our commitment. They are uniting ourselves to the past and to a better future. And that's why we are going to say thank you to the soldiers.
How are you doing that?
So what we're going to do tomorrow, this time, we're going to be in live streaming video tour, bring as many people, so it's going to be a uniting event. This is not just a regular tour. There are many great tours. But tomorrow, we want to make an event, a uniting event from Jews from all the diaspora, from Jews from Israel. It's an English tour, so you can all follow and be with us.
Cool.
And we're going to see amazing sights and views of Jerusalem. We're going to meet soldiers who made history in 1967.
Wow.
We're going to meet also the high commander of today, who's in charge of all the region of Jerusalem. And at the end of this event, it's 35 minutes.
Yeah.
We're going to be in an amazing roof and we're going to sing a tikva all together. Look, this is live streaming. It means we are all singing this at the same exact second.
So we're all invited. All of our Momentum family is invited. The whole world is invited. This, I see on the slide here, we have a link up as well, and we're going to live stream it on our Facebook page so that we can be part of it. And it also says here, record a video message thanking an Israeli soldier, speaking whatever language you're comfortable with. You can say your name if you want, where you're from, and we can send that video over WhatsApp. And I'm just going to say it out loud here, but we'll also put it in the chat, to 972-627-2020. Oh, I can't wait to make a video to send to somebody. Aviv, I can't thank you enough. You've just you lit up my heart. Thank you.